Good evening. It is a cool winter night in the middle of January. There's slosh outside. It's always either sleeting or sloshing lately for me here. I just wanted to drop in a quick video because I'm still working really hard on the end of the year top 10 videos, the playlist of songs and the actual top 10 video. I kind of didn't think in advance how long the video would have to be with the size of script I was writing, so it's going to be a lot bigger than any videos I've made ever before this point. And it's going to take a few more weeks, definitely. But I wanted to pop this out because it seemed like a fun thing to do. I am a year late to Pokemon Legends Arceus. I slept on this last year because after Sword and Shield Discourse, after buying Shining Pearl, and honestly, I was happy with it just because I am such a Sinnoh kid, and just having Sinnoh on the Switch was fun, and I think they got something right with the lighting. And follower Pokemon were nice, if poorly implemented. It was a trash. It was a C+ game. It's an absolute garbage video game. And I just didn't have the time or money to take a chance on Arceus, and I wasn't loving it from the graphics. But I know, everybody who played it loved it. But it kind of felt like this, steamed hams Aurora Borealis thing, where everyone was like, this is the greatest, most immersive Pokemon game I've ever played. And I would look at their footage, and I wouldn't really get it. And I'd be like, can I see it? And they'd be like, no. So I knew that I would have to play it for myself someday, and I didn't really want to. I just kind of pushed it off. I didn't have time last year really for a game like this, but anyhow, New Year's Day came around, and I was like, fuck it, I need this game right now. I need to play this right now, and oh my god, it's exactly... I'm not going to parrot everything that people say, because you've seen enough reviews at this point talking about how great it is and how you just have to experience it, but yeah, I drank the Kool-Aid, and now I'm part of the hisui cult. I just feel like this is such a better remake than I could have possibly hoped for Sinnoh. I liked Oris. I really liked Heart Gold, Soul Silver. I grew up with all these games. They were nice, you know. I even played quite a lot of Hoenn and a little bit of Johto before they got remade, and I appreciated them. And I still think there's just so much heart and so much core Sinnoh-ness in this game that I feel like this is the real remake. I really feel like now I've gotten my Sinnoh remake that I waited for, and it's really nice. I'm really soft. I didn't know if I was even ever going to play this game. I didn't want to play it for the entire first year that it was out. I actually got my hits from, I looked at the Hisui forum leaks with my friend Liz, and we really enjoyed them, some more than others, but I'm just a big sucker for regional forms, and they did Sneasel and Quillfish real good. I really, really liked those. I like Lilligant too. I'm like a little more, whatever on Lilligant's form, but I like that Lilligant got a form. And the Hisui TCG sets were pretty much how I thought I was going to be enjoying the game forever. They ended up sneaking up on me. I like to buy a little bit of TCG, and the art was just gorgeous. TCG sets just really hit a stride in their last year, like all the time with Pokemon, and these were just beautiful sets with beautiful cards all throughout 2022. So I thought I was just gonna let it go till Legends Unova and see what changed and get hit by it all then, but I am so happy that I'm enjoying this now, oh my gosh. So let's go through it. Yeah, it's is it the most lush adventure I could ever have had the pleasure of being engrossed in? With these Wii graphics? No. It's just these graphics are sloppy. They are messy. It really doesn't matter that much once you're in it, which is what everybody was telling me, and I agree with that. Once you're in it, I think the cell shading really, really wins through, and the color choice. The color really, really, really carries it, and I think that is the biggest thing for me, is that once I'm in it, it's just pretty and the colors are nice. Lately, as a bit of an aside, I watched some normie stuff with my parents, which is not super common in my other family, and I was just noticing how, even though I usually don't watch, I literally don't watch much live action TV shows or films that have actors that aren't voice actors in them, I just don't find it as interesting as animation. I've been noticing that things with really cool color design keep me interested. I mean, there's other things, but I was just watching some stuff, and I'm like, man, these scenes are really well colored, and that's something I feel again and again, even if the character models are sometimes taking me out of it with their blank expressions. Not that it's a bad thing to be stoic now and again, but I just feel like that partner kids kind of staring through me sometimes with his face. I don't know. It's not always feeling it, but no, it's just like these scenes are really pretty to be in. The color is just lovely. It's just really nice. It's just it's just a nice artful touch. Like you could call it Breath of the Wildish. People certainly have, and it is definitely nice. When I saw somebody point out the difference in the color design between Scarvi, which I haven't played, and this, that's when I realized I was like, oh, this is a pretty game, and I get something out of how it looks. I really do. The biggest thing that I've been noticing about Legends and how I feel like I'm now a Legends fan, because I mean, I've kind of been losing interest in the Pokemon RPGs for a long time. The tone is so interesting. The story is not super interesting, and I know most of the bits already, but they will not stop mentioning that I could potentially die. Like, they are talking all the time about the fact that I could go outside and die in the first couple hours. Like, it's just die, die, die all the time. It's like they gave them this rated T PG-13, although I don't even think this is E10 plus, to be honest. I haven't checked. They gave them this slightly more grown-up feel, you know. Now that you're 15, you can go and get yourself killed. You gotta work for your stay now that you're 15. It's kind of cool, actually. I feel like it helps a lot, because I can just imagine a lot of these events that we talk about, them going back and doing other Legends games, are usually war, like the Kalos Galar ones. Those are wars, and there might even be a war with Unova, like Dao dragons? I don't know, but I feel like all of these older settings have this tense tone, you know? Even Legends Arceus is a bit of a conflict between the, well, there's, you know, certainly intercultural conflict between the two tribes, or two clans, or the two factions that are native to Hisui, and the, you know, foreign, or the, you know, the non-native research team. But also, above all of that, it's the people and the Pokemon that are in conflict, and I think that's a really cool tone. I don't think they ever would, but I would be really interested if they pushed that a bit further and let it be a little bit more of a grown-up game with a little bit more stakes, just a little bit more action-y, because I think that kind of tone, those kinds of stakes fit with the gameplay really, really well, which is, you know, obviously a lot more action-y than it's ever been. I thought it was so funny that they were like bickering about who's responsible for my death right in front of me. I'm like, this is a Pokemon game, and they're making little funny jokes that like are almost actually funny about like, well, I don't want her to die in my watch. I'm only 15. Like, what the heck is this? Beyond that stuff, I'm just having a really good time. I got a shiny Starly. I'm a Starly fan for life now. I played Sinnoh plenty of times growing up, and I was always kind of like fine on Starly in the Starly line. In recent years, I was starting to like Starly a little bit more, but oh my god, the 3D model, and just seeing Starly hopping around in the beginning, I'm like, I like Starly now. So I caught one, I named it Lee, but then I changed its name to Rave once it was a Staravia, and it'll be Raptor in the end. And I love her, or him, I love them. And I randomly caught a shiny. I knew that there were going to be more shinies, and I was excited for that, because I like a good shiny. I've always been sensitive to the allure of a good shiny Pokemon, and I got a shiny Starly. Her name is Little Debbie. I'm very, very happy about that. It's a really nice start. I've only been playing for like 5 hours. And yeah, I can't even... It is so hard to put into words how nice it is to do this little, you know, throw the ball on the ground, now your buddy's there, now you can interact with them thing. It just immerses you. It's just good. They're close to getting this thing where they really immerse you in the game by putting the 3D models in places you wouldn't expect them, like in the ground in front of you, or in the sandwich eating cutscenes in Scarvi, and they're getting closer and closer to an immersive experience. It still looks kind of dorky, but it really works. It's starting to really work, and I can't explain it to you. You just have to have a Wurmple party for yourself. Best of all is just, I know a landscape when I see one. I have had my Bob Ross phases. If I draw, I don't draw much, but I can draw pine trees and I can draw lakes, and you put them together in the right way. And even as crude as it is, you know, you feel it when you see it. And I think that's what makes this game nice. Like, if it were a really crappy looking Splatoon with like a really poorly detailed Splatsville or something, I might not buy it. But being out in the world, in the woods, it doesn't really matter. I mean, it matters when you see some crappy textures on the water and stuff. But I just feel like you see these lakes and these trees and these hills, and the way that they're put together, you feel it. Even if it's not the most breathtaking thing ever, you feel it. They put it out there and you're there. And that's just perfect. It's just, yeah, it's the exact paradox everybody talked about. Like, you have to be in it, and then it works, and it is just so fun. It is just, oh, it's just a good little time. Ah. I don't have much else to say. Throwing Pokeballs is real fun. It's just, yeah, it looked pretty dorky. I didn't even want to buy the game partially because I thought that the boss fights looked kind of awkward throwing the, like, potion, the little baggies at the guy. I thought it looked so awkward. And I haven't even done the Scyther evolution yet, but I just think I know it's gonna work. It's gonna work because I love throwing the balls in every other case. And it's funny how they managed to make this kind of, I've been having like a Pikmin-like feeling because you're always running around. Like, it kind of feels like Pikmin of the Wild. That's a fresh opinion I've never heard. It feels like Pikmin of the Wild with the way that I'm managing these RTS type material collection things. But even beyond that, I'm just throwing my buddies out. I'm always throwing, whether I'm at a Pokemon or at a rock or at a tree. I'm just always throwing. So it's got that Nintendo thing where it kind of all works around this little gimmick. It's this little gameplay hook that works real good. And it's Pokemon, so even though Let's Go tried to be the ball throwing game, this is a ball throwing game, and you can go much further than just playing catch in a setting like this. So yeah, those are my thoughts on Legends Arceus. I just wanted to get that out there. It has been so long since I made a video, and happy middle of the winter. Take vitamin D pills if you're not getting enough sunlight and starting to feel numb. And I'll see you soon. It's Celeste month. Celeste month, week 2. It's going to be here real soon.